very, very difficult.
Okay.
So
Well, that's a different skill. Writing
mhm,
writing is a different
yeah,
skill than speaking.
yeah, of course. In my native language, Arabic is my mother tongue,
Uh-huh.
and I found difficulties to write with Arabic also. So in English, yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, this 6 weeks course, and I think I remember from the post that I believe you told me that you were a teacher and you're interested in finding different methods and strategies for teaching
yeah,
students
that's
in
it. Yeah.
German. So I think what I'm doing can be very beneficial to you as a German teacher. I do use quite a bit of technology to facilitate my teaching. The
Mm-hmm.
wiki being one. It's very easy. It's user friendly. It works very well for me as a teacher of English so that I can
Mm-hmm.
keep up with all of my students. I make general notes today. I'll be making notes on my pad, but I generally make notes, many notes on the computer so that as soon as the student calls in, I start making notes about what we did or what we're going to do so that when the student comes back the next time, I don't have to go through a book to look for it, and it's always there and available, that if the student can't remember what it is that we did or talked about, then I can refer
Uh,
back to my
mm-hmm.
notes. So that
Yeah,
that's
that's awesome. And you post them on the walls, or where? Where do you post these notes?
Well, there's a couple of things. Now, there are many different ways that I'm talking about using it. What I was just describing now was for my personal use, just like this is for my personal notes. So I post them in my personal space in the wiki, but
Uh-huh.
it's not necessary for you to see. But every student that registered for this free course, I created a folder for the student based upon the things that I'm going to ask the students to do, based upon their interests, their levels of abilities, and how participatory they are. So let's just say,
Mm-hmm.
for example, we're about 10 minutes into this session, and you're the only student that is here. And I don't want you to think that I don't appreciate your being here and being on time, because I really do. And I take every
Yeah.
student at 100%. When you're giving something away that is completely free, it's important for the student to make themselves available for it. I tried to do
Okay.
everything that I could possibly do to make sure that the students knew when the course was going to take place. When I started advertising or promoting the class, say, about a month and a half ago, many students registered, but their emails were incorrect. And I tried my
Mm-hmm.
best to find the correct email address, and I did, which would be to either take out a space, add an
Mm-hmm.
at.com, and I sent them all an email and led them to the 6 week fluency course, which is on the wiki, which is where you first started talking. So from there,
Yeah,
so from
it's my
there,
honor.
so from there, it is for the student to avail themselves to demonstrate that they're interested.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, of course.
so
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm not interested in running after someone, especially if it's free. If the student is paying, if
Of
the
course, yeah.
if
I,
it's
I,
if the student
can
is
I ask
paying, I
a
pursue.
question, please?
Yes, yes,
Can
go
I
ahead.
ask a
Oh,
question?
hold on just a moment. Let's just say hello to the next guest, and then
Yeah,
I'll ask
I'm
you.
a new
Okay.
student here.
Hello. How are you? Okay. Now, can you pronounce your name for me? Is it Basum? Basum?
Yeah, Bassam.
Okay.
And Priscilla,
Yes.
is that what?
Yes, it is Priscilla. Okay. So what is?
Priscilla.
Yes.
Uh,
So Basum, what
yeah.
is your question?
Uh-huh. I just want to know why you do this. I mean, why you teach English for free, and you make such an effort to do that,
Okay.
to make that works.
And someone else asked me this same question, and it may have been you. They were, I don't
No,
think it was
no,
you.
actually, I didn't sign
Okay, the
before.
person was congratulating me for taking this grandiose effort, but there
Yeah,
is,
of
but
course.
but no,
Me
it's,
too. I
but I will
would
tell
like.
you, But I want to tell
Mm.
you that I live in America, and Americans are capitalistic. We do nothing for free. We do
Yeah.
absolutely nothing for free. So this is why I'm doing this. When I got my PhD, I wanted to stop working for the public school system. I wanted to stop working for the government, and I wanted to work for myself. It has always, since I was young, I wanted to travel the world. And this is
Mhm.
before the internet. I had no idea how I was going to travel the world, but I do believe in visions. That if you can believe it, if you can see it, you can do it. And
Mhm.
then about, I think I was probably 14, 15, a teenager when I lived in the country in my home. It's just a small little place. We didn't go anywhere. And if my family visited someplace, everybody went as a group. So I wanted
Mm.
to see more than my city. And that was kind of like my dream. When I grow up, I'm going to be a big girl. I'm going to travel. And then about 15 years later than today, here comes the internet. Wow. Here is the internet. And I talked on the internet every single day to people from Algeria, Saudi Arabia, India, Malaysia, Asia, Japan. And it was so much fun. Then
Mhm.
I started my PhD program. And in my last year, or the last 6 semesters, I had to come up with a thesis and something to do my study. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what should I do my study on? And then it was just like an epiphany. Like, duh, you're talking to people every single day online. Do your study online to find out what do they enjoy about using technology and how I can help them use the technology. So it was from there that I did the study. Now, to answer your
Mhm.
question, why am I giving this 6-week course free? Because
So it's a
I,
part of your study.
it's a part of my study is done. I'm done.
Uh-huh.
I am a
Ah.
doctor. I'm a doctor now. I'm Dr. Priscilla. But
Ah.
it's a part of my
Yeah.
goal. When I finish this 6 weeks course, I hope enough students will enjoy what I'm doing enough to tell people in their country. I met this wonderful teacher, and she was able to help me, blah, 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 blah. And, and
Great.
eventually,
You are inspiring me now, just right now.
yeah.
I'm getting inspired.
So even when you tell me that you're planning to come to the United States, I don't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily know that you'll be able to meet with me, but please let me know when you come. And I
Yeah,
will
yeah.
try my best to avail myself to make
Great.
things interesting and easy for you.
Great. It's really awesome to find people like you, and especially in America,
Yeah.
as you said, people there do
Well,
not do
well,
anything for free,
no.
and
It,
you believe in what I don't know your values. Uh,
I believe that.
Actually, you are doing something great. I mean,
Yeah.
you are doing something
Well,
great.
thank you. And so while you may not be able to pay for the pay for the class, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why this person isn't already in this course. So let me see if I can just drag them in here. Uh, so while some students cannot pay, they can
Mm-hmm.
tell, let's just say in India as my perfectly good example, many people in India will find it difficult or very challenging to pay. But if they will just go to my YouTube, if enough of them will go to my YouTube, someone else will pay for them. They just need to go to my YouTubes and watch them. And then they can come to free classes. Do you understand?
Yeah, yeah. So, someone else has already paid for your courses and post them on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if they just come, then
Mm-hmm.
Google will put those advertisements on my website, and the advertisers will pay me. But I have to have people going to the website so that I can be paid. And if I get, I don't know, let's just say if 10 people, for example, take this course, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you know 10 people yourself. They don't
Uh-huh.
have to take the course, but you just tell 10 people, listen, friend A, friend 1 through 10, just tell each one of them to go to this website and watch this video for 5 minutes or 2 minutes.
Yeah, I got it.
And then they tell 10 people. Then I'm going to be, and my videos are really good anyway. Then I can have another free course and I can get a lot of people all at once. So this is why I can give the 6 weeks course for free. I'm not exactly sure why I can't get this person in. So I'm going to ask you to hold on for a moment, but I'm not starting over, and I'm going to go ahead and get started with the lesson. Let's see. Why are you not able to join the class? I have added you. I just need you to open your microphone and speak. Okay, I'm going to add the person again. I'm going to add the person again to the course because I gave them the link. I don't think, Basam, that you had any difficulty, did you?
No. Just I just clicked on the link and all
Yes.
things go well.
So I'm not sure why this person is having difficulty. It could be that, well, no, I didn't advertise the link except through the link. But anyway, so if I was answering your question, how or why am I able?
Sorry?
Okay. So Blossom wants to show video, accept all videos. Okay. You asked me why am I doing it for free? It is because, as I said, the more exposure that I get, the more people that know about me,
the more views you have in your YouTube channel.
Exactly. Now it takes a lot, but it doesn't take a long time if you give something away for 6 weeks. Even in this class right here, when I give you things to do, I always send you to a video. And for the most part, you might have to watch that video yourself twice just to get it. But it's a small price that you have to pay for something
of
that's
course.
completely
Actually,
free.
I understand you. So you don't, so you just need the people to go to your website or your YouTube channel. In the same time, people are going to benefit from them, and they are going to receive your money.
And then there will be some people who really want one-on-one classes, and they are willing and able to pay. I think most of my students that are able to pay are from Saudi Arabia, Japan, or China. One of them is able to pay, and they have no problem to pay. I also work for several companies and the university, and if this many people are paying someone, then someone has money that they can pay me as well. But I'm very patient. I believe that the money will follow when you have the passion to do something. Now, let me ask you, did you create your blog? Did you create a blog? Did you create a blog?
No,
Okay, well, that is going to be a part of the requirement, is to create a blog. If you don't create a blog, then you'll need to create a somewhat of a blog using the wiki, and I will create another video to teach you how to do that. And while again, I'm sending you back to a video, and from there, you're going to answer. Let me ask you to do something for me. This person has written to say that they are trying to call, but they can't get in. I'm going to ask you to hang up, and you just click the link again, and then if I can't get you back, I'll just disconnect from that person. Okay? Do you understand? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Hello? Hello? Okay, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
exactly sure. It could be that this person needs to update their Skype,
Maybe it's
but
yeah, in Skype maybe.
yeah, I don't. And that was one of the things that I said that they should try to call it earlier because I was here, so that we could try and work the things out. But either way, uh, as I move forward, this is the thing about free again, that if you're really interested in free stuff, you get there early. You get there early, you give up sleep so that you can take advantage of every opportunity. All right, so tell me, but as I said, you'll need to create a blog or you'll need to create something that I'm talking about in the wiki. Now, as I said, your English is very good. Unless someone else unless someone else joins the course today, let's find out. Let's just talk about how you can benefit. What I had for the beginner, you are not a beginner. You're not a beginner. So if I go to what I would give a beginner, it would not benefit you unless you just want to find out what it would be that I would do. Why don't I just go ahead and do that because I am recording this. For the beginners, I was going to ask the beginner to all read a particular very easy document. Since you're the only one here at the moment, I can actually share my screen with you, and I would go to a place like here, News and Levels, newsandlevels.com. And here you'll find that there are 3 levels that students can participate in. I have not read this, but students could choose whatever they want. Water spouts in Cuba 1 year ago, trial with migrants, whatever. So let's just choose the very first one, level 1. Depending upon,
News in level. Okay.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. So whatever level the student is at, this is very easy. It reads, this news is from Cuba. There is a bad storm. There are water spouts. They are at sea. They move to land. They destroy homes. Many people are injured. They are the first water spouts in Cuba. Thankfully, no one dies. Then the difficult words here are water spout, a turning tower of water, injured, have problems with the body. So what I would want every beginner student to understand by the end of today's session is, what is a water spout and what does the word injured mean? We would each take turns reading this small passage. I would point out to the student that punctuation actually guides comprehension. If you stop for about 3 seconds when you get to a period, it gives your brain a little bit of a time to absorb what you read, not in the very beginning, but in the training stages of learning. If you stop when you see a period, you'll start to understand more. When you get to a comma, you'll stop for 2 seconds. And then I will tell you that you're asking yourself things like this when you're stopping for 3 seconds. This news is from Cuba. Where is this news from Cuba? Either you know where Cuba is or you don't. There's a bad storm. Oh, I know what a storm is because we have storms in my country. This is a conversation that you're having with yourself and your understanding. There are water spouts. I don't know what a water spout is, but I know what water is. This picture might be a water spout. So this is how you come to understand this little passage. Then further, I would ask, close your eyes and tell me 4 things that you remember about what you just read. 1 or 2 words, 2 words, 1 word. You'll say it was a storm, there was a water spout. I know it was in Cuba, and somebody was injured. That's only, if you can remember 4 things, then I would, in my notes, I would be writing down, but I would be doing it on the computer. So I wrote down Cuba. I wrote down injured. I'm writing it down now. I wrote down, what did I say? Water spouts. And then I said, it was a storm. Okay. So my 4 things that I'm going to talk about, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm sure they do it when you're teaching German to students whose native language is not German. they have all of these false starts. And they'll say something like this. This article is about Cuba. Cuba, I know Cuba, waterspouts, whatever. So then we go on. No, what I want you to do is tell me anything that you know about Cuba. Tell me 4 things that you know about Cuba. Cuba is a country. People live in Cuba. Anything that you know about Cuba. It doesn't have to be in this article. People eat food in Cuba. So then what do you know about injured? Well, I know that this was a storm, so people were injured, people got hurt. I don't know if people died during this injury, blah, 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 blah. So these 4 things now that you had written down became 4 sentences. 4 sentences.
Great.
And I actually told you wrong because I only need 1 sentence. Cuba, I need 1 full sentence here. 1 full sentence. I need 4 full sentences. Then I'll ask you to say those 4 sentences and I will record your voice and it will sound something like this. I'm using technology again. We'll see. I should have you do this, but you don't really need to. So I'm going to click to record. So the first thing that I'll have every student do, or I would have, I'm going to say the 4 words: Cuba, injured, waterspouts, and storm. Great! You did good. Now take one of those words, each word, and make a sentence. So now first I'm going to listen. I would have. I'm going to say the 4 words: Cuba, injured, waterspouts, and storm. Great! You did. Okay, so I would be encouraging them to enunciate each one of those words correctly. They can't go on until they do that. Then the next thing that we're going to do is say a complete sentence. In Cuba, there are many people. The next sentence, there were people injured in this article. Third sentence, I'm not sure what a waterspout is. And the 4th sentence is, there was a storm in Cuba. So we're going to say those 4 sentences clearly. In Cuba, there are many people. The next sentence, there were people injured in this article. Third sentence, I'm not sure what a waterspout is. And the 4th sentence is, there was a storm in Cuba. Now that we have our 4 sentences, we're going to use prepositions, contractions, something to elongate our sentences so it makes sense. So, there are many people in Cuba. Stop for 3 seconds. There were people injured in Cuba. Stop. I don't know what a waterspout is. Stop. There was a really bad storm in Cuba. So this is control. And then Cuba, then the goal is Control-C. The next sentence, there were people injured in this article. Third sentence, I'm not sure what a waterspout is. And the 4th sentence is, there was a storm in Cuba. Okay, and then this is something that the students would need to practice outside of class. This article is This article is about Cuba. There are many people in Cuba. There were people that were injured in Cuba. There are many people. I don't know what a waterspout is, but there was a really bad storm in Cuba. That is fluency. And when you learn how to do that, this is very simple. This article is about Cuba. There are many people in Cuba. There were people that were injured in Cuba. There are many people. I don't know. So this is the wiki. I wasn't really trying to get to that. So here's the form.
Great. So I think it's like when a child learn a language, his mother language. I mean, the first thing that the students have to do is to get a general idea about the text or the passage. Then they will try to understand the passage, then they will try to make some, I don't know, to tell some words and to make some sentences, then to collect each sentence with each other, and so they get fluency.
Exactly. And when you take a small child that's maybe 1 year of age, this is a pen. And if my child would say, he would say, Mom, pen, pen. I know that he really wants the pen, but I would say, what about the pen? Me want, pen, me. And I'd say, I want that pen. I want that pen. Then why do you want that pen? Right, Mom, right. Why do you want? I want the print. I want the pen to write. Write what? Another sentence. Write on paper. Then why? And pretty soon you see that the fluency is there, but it's through repetition, repetition, repetition. That that the student grows and learns, although at a very slow pace at the beginning. But what I do, hello. What I do is, hi. How are you today? Are you good?
Yeah, this is just my brother, my little brother.
Okay, so what I do is scaffold. I build a bridge, and then I move it apart until there is no bridge. But you don't fall. But you don't fall through because you know what you need to do. You think about the 4 things. What 4 things were you talking about? So if I give a student, as an example, an article, they talk about everything about that article. They tell it to me 5 or 6 times, the same thing. And I said, no, just focus on 4 things. When you can focus on 4 things, the other part will somehow miraculously come to your brain. Oh, yes, I want to talk about that, but not now. So it's control and patience with yourself. Now this is what the blog does for you. The blog is a place for you to go and visit every day to visualize, help you visualize what you have written, because you will not see me every day. You will only see me once a week unless you decide that you want to pay for classes. And your blog will be there forever. After 6 weeks and beyond, that will be very useful for you. It's just like your journal or your diary that I think everyone should write something every day if they are serious. Because I tell you, I've never given up on my passion of traveling the world. And who knows, the world may even come closer to me than my even talking on Skype. If you get to come to the United States, see, you'll be bringing your country to me, and you'll be like, Dr. Priscilla, I'm here, and blah, blah, blah. I've not met one of my students online in person yet, but I do believe that the day is going to come when I will. So that would, I've introduced you now to what is going to be required in week 2. I will create a video or YouTube video for you to create a blog. I couldn't create a blog because once I create my blog, it was too time consuming for me to teach someone how to create a blog, but I can create a video how you will use the wiki and go ahead. I just was thinking about creating a blog, and here in Algeria, I know a lot of people, those who are beginner, want to learn English, and they are really they are actually beginner, and I think this method will help them, and it's very useful, I think. So I can make my own blog, and I don't know, I will make as a publicity to your blog and to your courses and to whatever you are doing. Okay. Well, for now, the blog will serve, your blog can serve 2 purposes. I want it to benefit you as a student. And then when others, if you are making it public, when others read your blog, as you look at the blogs that other students have created in other free courses that I have had on the wiki pages, you'll see that other students have created blogs, some much more successful than the others, but they put in their vocabulary words, and from those vocabulary words, it enhances what they know and how they understand the world and the environment around them. Another teacher that I work with also has opportunities where she's examining how students can write about their own culture, how they can write about their own country and make it into something that is marketable for them. As an example, I don't know anything about German other than I'm talking to you. I don't know anything about Algeria other than I'm talking to you. I don't know anything about India other than I have some students who are from India. But when students start writing about their culture, like Ramadan just finished, I don't know anything about Ramadan other than it exists. But if one of my students were to write about Ramadan and translate it in a manner that makes sense to someone who is only speaking English, that could be something that is published on Amazon. There again, even if it doesn't generate money for you, the student, or me as a teacher, the fact that Amazon is posting it for free reading, other people are going to go just like the YouTube and click on it. The more people that are reading about it, the income is what we call the residual income. It comes and comes and comes. I'm sure you know that's how advertisements work. When football games come on, I'm not interested in football. Well, I am interested in football. Maybe I should say basketball. I'm not interested in basketball, but in order to watch the football game, the commercials will come on. I'm not interested in really watching the commercials. Usually I'll run into the kitchen to do something else, but it is still on, so I hear some remnants of it. When someone goes to my YouTube, they may not be interested in listening to the commercial, but some commercials are pretty good. And I was like, oh, I like that. So, you are getting the benefit of hearing something that you're interested in. Now, it takes a lot of clicks, but when you've got 2 billion people clicking, that's pretty good. And you can get perhaps up to $100. I want to say $100 a week, but you can probably get $100 a day. And all you did was create the video. But I've got to get the ball rolling. And this for me just started really phenomenally this year. So I'll show you, unless someone else joins us. And as a teacher who was interested in doing what I do, well, before I do that, let me just pause this because I don't.
But your cam is stopping.
Okay, now it just fell too. Okay. Can you see me now? Can you see me now?
No.
Okay, I'll hang up and call you back. All right, I'll hang up and call you back.
Yeah. Within resistant dialogue.
Right. So pretty soon you'll see a box at the bottom right that says click to subscribe. Click on it to subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay, now when you subscribe, I think you just automatically become a member or a subscriber. Now, if you look down at the bottom, maybe someone else has made a comment. I'll check to see if they have. I don't know.
No, there is no comments.
Okay, so down here, do you see where I said if you would like this type of lesson? Okay, so that was on June 27th that I published that. So do you see where it says add a public comment? It says show more. Do you see the word show more?
Yeah, plus.
Okay. And then do you see comments?
Comments, yeah.
Okay, you would just say great video or anything that you would like to say.
Okay.
That's all. But you can just do that later. And every video that you watch, I think now that you are a subscriber, every time I post a video, you'll get a notice in your email or something that I posted a video that you might want to go watch. And even if you don't watch it, click on it anyway, and then just just don't watch it because it counts by clicks and
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what I try to tell people who say they don't have money and they want to learn English. Learning English should be something that anyone can do, but everyone is not very industrious. They can't do it alone. But you can learn to speak English without paying someone to do it, but it's very time consuming and you'll go through lots of websites and lots of YouTubes and you know
Mm-hmm.
you'll need to do a lot of things. You'll need to do a lot of things if you don't want to pay someone to help you with it. And I'm all about not having to pay for something if I don't have to, but I'm willing to put in the time to do it, just like my 6 weeks. I'm giving away 6 weeks of my time to help someone who may or may not be able to afford to pay for a class. But in return, on the thing that I asked, are you willing to give me feedback about the class? So if everybody gives me feedback, that's paying it forward for the next time I decide to do it. All right, so I've talked extensively. What questions, specific questions can I offer or what can I ask? Remember, next week, the expectation is that you will be creating a video, a YouTube, a blog, and I will be sending you information in week 2 what your blog should contain. It can contain other things as well, but I'll tell you specifically what I want it to contain.
Yeah, but when exactly should I create this blog? I mean, is there a deadline or something?
Well, yeah, it was supposed to have been created in week 1. You were supposed to have done it in week 1. If you look at the blog on the wiki page, I'll try to go to the wiki page now. PB works. But I know beginners don't always understand what they're reading when they're going through. And this is what today's class was about. It was to...
So I have to create a blog, and what should I put in this blog?
This is what I'm going to tell you in week 2. I'll be telling you that this week.
So I just start to create a blog,
Yeah,
then I
yeah,
will
right.
wait for your.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, all that you need to do this is what you were supposed to do this week. Week 1 was create a blog. You were supposed to have some recordings for me. You were supposed to leave comments in the lobby if you didn't know what to do, if you didn't understand something, and then have your live class. So today you'll be giving an evaluation, and I'm going to make this a live link at the end of the day. So far, you are the only one that is here, but you'll click on a video and give me your feedback. What did you think of the class that was there? You just type that in there. So then when we get to week 2, I'm going to introduce you to a voice thread and to a study stack. And today I should have put the link here, but that's okay because you're in it. And I sent the email to everyone. And then week 3, we're going to do this, week 4, week 5, and week 6. Okay? Okay. So just create a blog for now. And here are some examples of students' blogs. These are students' previous blogs. In 2012, this one was done in 2011. And I think one of them is mine. I'm not sure which one is mine. I think one of them is mine. But either way, these are blogs. And here's my Facebook group.
Sorry, I can't see your screen again.
Okay, well that's okay. You can go to the wiki. That's okay. If you go to the wiki, you'll be able to see other students' blogs. Okay?
So if I create a blog, I mean, I will create a blog in help of wiki.
No. Just, do you know how to create a blog?
No.
Okay, then
I will videos on YouTube how to create. Okay,
I will send a video on how to create what you need for this class in a wiki. I'll create a video for you. Okay, I will create a video for you to use the wiki. Okay. In the future, you may wish to create a blog. But for this class, just use the wiki. I think that will be fine. All right. So what questions can I answer for you now? What questions would you like to ask me? What would you like me to help you with?
So your method is to read and to understand, then to talk, then to write. Is that right?
Well, if I'm doing all of them, it's all of them at the same time. You're going to read, listen, speak, and write. Not necessarily in that order, but we do all of them at the same time. Today, it's all about listening. Can you follow instructions? But you had to read them, then listen, then speak. When I was practicing those 4 words, that was the speaking part. Now, by the end of this class, no, you will not be able to talk like a professor if you are a beginner. You will not. But you will start to learn the strategies that are good and useful for being able to speak fluently. And it requires focus, patience, and the willingness to do what is required. So when we take those 4 focus words, then we create our 4 sentences. If, for example, you need to take the IELTS, the TOEFL, or any of those English speaking exams, I know that vocabulary is a big part of that exam. So you take those 4 sentences and look at sentence number 1, which was about Cuba. And let's think of a word that might be useful in the exam. So we could say extraordinary. I tell my students, if you have more than 2 syllables, it's a good word to use if you know how. So extraordinary, okay? So extraordinary. So you want to try to get your words in early so that the examiner can make notes that, oh yes, he or she uses word. So this article is about an extraordinary place in Cuba, or an extraordinary event took place in Cuba. Lots of people were injured in a very dangerous situation. So you see how I'm saying, I'm not taking away from my topic. I'm just using now, I know I need to get some vocabulary because I want to score a band 9. So if I use vocabulary, that's going to boost my score from a 7.5 to an 8 until a 9. And then if I use some transitions, such as also, therefore, however. So now let's hear my story. In Cuba, there was an extraordinary event that took place. However, many people were saved because of whatever. I mean, I'd have to think about whatever the whatever is, but I know that I want to use transitions, vocabulary, and then those extended sentences, or they call them complex sentences. And a complex sentence is nothing more than, instead of having 2 complete sentences, put in however, or wherefore, for this reason, or secondly, those things. Instead, exactly. When you start to do those things, then you're building your fluency and you're getting high scores in the IELTS without really having a huge vocabulary, but you just need to be able to pick out some. So I'm looking up here on my wall board, and one question might be to describe a traditional meal people eat in your country. And they give you this little placard or card that says you should tell them what the meal is, when people eat it, and who they eat it with. Everybody knows what they... So everybody knows what they're eating, and at the end of the class, I just want my sisters... Anyway, everyone knows what they're eating, what they eat typically. So if I say this, I'm changing it around a little bit, that In Cuba, a traditional meal that's extraordinary that people really enjoy eating is during the time of blah, 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 blah. It is during this season when the weather is tremendously blah, 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 that people will do blah, blah, blah. However, there are occasions when blah, 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 blah. So they don't have to know a lot. They just need to know how to use test taking, structure and strategies and tips that they have to put in their brain. But they have to have a vocabulary. You can't just put in any word. Like you could say, I have a voracious appetite. But if I say that I am a voracious, I can't even think of any, because I could say I'm a voracious reader, which means that I like to read a lot, which I do. I am a voracious reader. I wouldn't say that I'm a big reader. You could say that I'm a big reader, but voracious would give you so many more points. But you would have to know that voracious could be for food, it could be for reading. Something that you consume is what voracious would actually mean. So it's just learning how to use a few words. Learn 50 words and understand those 50 words clearly and how to use them, and then you can pepper those into your conversation when you are having your dialogue with the examiner. All right, well, we're coming up on 6 minutes before the end of the hour. Let me first thank you for spending the hour with me and your patience to let me try to get the other students in. Not exactly sure what the problem was, but we're going to forge forward. If you have some questions, some thoughts, some ideas that you would like for me to explore, I would be happy to do that, because at this point, you're the only one who can actually receive a certificate today. I mean, not today, but for this entire course. One, many students have not done any comments, as you can see from the sheet where you add the comments. As many people that want to, they can comment. And then there are those who have, no one has created a blog as of yet. One, they don't know how to do it, which is perfectly fine. But then today would be the day that they would need to come to this class to say, this is where I have a need for help. And for those who weren't able to get in, they'll have until the end of the day, well, the 24-hour clock, to write to me to say, and I recorded whatever it is that we just did today. I recorded this today, so they can watch the recording if I did it correctly. And when you see this video, you can just say, I like the video, or thanks for the video. There again, I'm just looking for clicks for pay. That's exactly what it comes out to be. So, any particular questions that I can answer for you? Anything?
Yeah, I think everything is clear. So what I have to do now is just to create a blog. I really want to do that. I will try my best to do that as soon as possible.
Okay.
And I will go through your videos, and give you, of course, feedback. It's my pleasure. And thank you so much for your time.
Well, you're welcome. But now I'm not saying you don't have to go through all the videos, but just going forward.
Yeah.
But if you want, but if you find them interesting, then go ahead and look at them and just tell other people. Just tell other people. That's the beauty of what we're saying. Just check it out. Just tell your friends. Just check it out. You might like it. If you don't like it, it didn't cost them anything. Just go there and look. All right. So I don't know that I'll get a wiki video out today. I might. It just depends upon what I'm going to be doing. But
yeah, it's okay. I will see what I can do.
Okay. All right. Well, if nothing more, then I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much. It was nice meeting you today. And Basim, I look forward to interacting with you again in the next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Oh, wait. Are you still there? No. I was going to ask if this was a good time for you.